Europeans relied on captured and enslaved Africans to labor their sugar, cotton, and tobacco plantations as they conquered and established colonies in the Caribbean and North America. Native Americans were also sold into slavery, but they were also losing millions of people to diseases introduced by Europeans, including smallpox. The horrific Middle Passage was used to transport enslaved Africans to the Americas, where they were made into the new labor force. As a result, a commercial network known as the Triangle of Commerce was established between the continents. From the 1500s to the 19th century, it allowed for the movement of products, people, and cultural aspects between Europe, Africa, and the Americas. With manufactured products for sale, Portuguese, Spanish, Dutch, French, and British ships would dock in West African ports. They consisted of weapons, ammo, rum, textiles, and other products. Then, this cargo would be exchanged for slaves in sales or trades. Men, women, and kids from competing tribes would be kidnapped and sold by African monarchs and traders. The Middle Passage, as it is now called, was a tortuous 2 to 3 month voyage that these enslaved people were then made to endure to reach the Americas. In the confined holds of the slave ships, many people perished from sickness. Some rebelled and were thrown overboard or killed. Enslaved survivors were sold in the Caribbean or the American colonies after the ship arrived in the New World. Following cleaning, the ships were filled with export cargo for a return trip to Europe. Their export products included raw resources such as sugar, molasses, tobacco, cotton, and furs. The cycle continued after the ship made its way back to Europe to complete the triangle. There is no denying that this triangular commerce network had an effect on each continent. Millions of Africans were taken prisoner and distributed worldwide. African kings bought European weapons to protect themselves from enslavers, but they could only pay for them with other enslaved people. This prompted conflicts and battles throughout West Africa. The Native Americans in America bore the costs of this economic relationship as illnesses ravaged their communities. The Native Americans' bodies were unable to combat the diseases and pathogens brought by the inflow of foreigners. The institution of slavery led to the growth of a plantation economy in America. The southern colonies of America's economy was based entirely on the mass production of cash crops. Moreover, a rigid social hierarchy was established, particularly in South America. Spanish colonies, where native people were compelled to work and pay homage to the conquering Europeans, gave rise to the encomienda system. This led to racial and social division and the development of an enduring social hierarchy. The Triangle of Commerce brought fresh riches and resources into Europe. Europeans observed the spread of their culture and people over the world.